Hey guys, it's Shake here. I hope everyone's having a great day today. We're on episode 21 now, I believe. Crazy. Been at it for 21 days. Today I wanted to talk about, this actually isn't a topic that I've thought about till recently. The idea of constant self-improvement without it becoming toxic. Because I've always struggled with self-improvement to an extent that I feel like it kind of the idea of never being happy or content with oneself or one's actions sounds miserable, and it sounds like a lot of the noise out there is saying that, and a lot of the noise is also saying that what you are and what you're doing inherently isn't good enough. I wanted to share a story that I actually read. I wish that I remembered the name of the commenter. If I find it again, I'm going to put it in the description. But it was a wonderful, wonderful comment on a video about Magic the Gathering. And the video was about this guy dismantling all of his commander decks and putting them together as need be, or as he needed them, to see which ones he had because he wanted and which ones he had just because they were there, right? It's an interesting subject line, the concept of taking away permanence of an object to see if you really want it that bad, or if it's just sitting there because you already have it and it would take more time to get rid of it than anything else. But it was this guy who's talking about an art project that he had where he had to draw a self-portrait. They were tasked with drawing a self-portrait in charcoal and then erasing it and then drawing it again. And every single time that they did that, they found there was improvement in the self-portrait, right? And every single time he thought, man, this is the best one that I've done so far. How could it get any better than this? And he would want to keep it. And then he would erase it and then draw it again, and it would become better. Every single time he erased it, there was an improvement in said item, right? Or in said portrait, self-portrait. But he was so happy and content with the finished product every single time, right? So even though he was content and happy with it, the redoing of it showed that there's still room for improvement. And then at the end of the class, they were told to throw it away. And he wanted to keep the self-portrait so bad. He had worked so hard on it, and he thought that it was perfect, right? Only to have to throw it away. And I think that's a beautiful metaphor for self-improvement, right? The idea that you can be completely satisfied with something and where it's at, but just from the art and the engagement of doing something else, or like restarting or resetting, you would find improvement. I think that's a beautiful way of looking at it. I think that a lot of self-improvement nowadays, or a lot of the talking heads out there, talk about it from a place of hate, a place of sorrow and sadness, the underlying current that you're never good enough, right? But viewing it from the perspective of you are good enough, and what you're doing is, holistically great. But you could improve just for the sake of improvement, right? Just for the sake of improving, right? And it was an art class that he was doing this in too, so obviously they enjoy drawing and painting, and it's not so much about the finished product as it is the act of actually doing it, right? I just think that's beautiful. I think that's a wonderful way of looking at that. And you can apply that to your life very easily in being happy where you're at now, but also understanding that the art or the act of improvement is inherently a beautiful process and a fun and engaging process in and of itself too. That to be content could also breed complacency, right? That you can still be happy with yourself, but still improve for the fun of improving, not improving from because you feel a sense that you aren't inherently good enough, right? I think that's awesome. That's all I had to share today. I guess you can liken that to this video series, right? I want to talk about that a little bit. I feel as though this was originally supposed to be a springboard to learn how to successfully YouTube, right? But what I wasn't thinking, it has helped me learn how to speak to the camera much more eloquently. But a lot of the processes and the type of videos that I was wanting to make are counterintuitive to this kind of series, right? And I think the butter's here. Like there are other projects that I would want to work on in the future. But I just love doing this so much, and I love talking to you all every day. I think this is a fun way of doing it and not having to worry so much about retention, right? My retention for these videos, what little views I get, is actually abysmal, right? It sucks. But for the few that do find value in this longer form, no cut content, right? Like lightly edited, very lightly edited content that isn't catering towards retention so much as it's catering towards creating a conversation in the name of information, learning, and the continuing betterment of oneself, right? Through my lens, I guess, right? Like, or from my perspective, or perspectives that I can share to hopefully help other people, or just entertainment, or somebody to sit there and talk to you as you're eating or resting or whatever may have you, right? So I really think the butter's here with you guys. Not to say I don't want to make like slick content in the future, but I think this is the what was initially the test is actually the end goal. And it is fun to continually improve these videos every single day, and I'm excited to see where I'll be at in the future with these, how much better I've gotten at making YouTube videos, and hopefully I'll see you all guys. I'll see all of you there when I get there. But the thing is, there'll never really be an end, right? There's always room for improvement, and I'm happy with these videos now, but I'm also happy with the not being content in my delivery. That being said, I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day. I'll tell somebody that you love them today, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.